I'm Kat, I am 43 years of age, I'm a midwife, mum of 3. I'm also the head coach of the Wales Synchronised Ice Skating Academy. The purpose of this video is I asked my skaters if they had one question they could ask me, what would it be? No holds barred, and they could ask me absolutely anything, and I am giving you the answers to those questions. I've been coaching since I was 19 years of age. I've been coaching Synchro for 11 years. So 11 years ago, I decided I wanted to be a midwife. Having not been successful in school because I skated, I had to go back and do a degree, my GCSEs, blah, blah, blah. So I decided to quit coaching. Within 2 weeks, I missed my skaters. But couldn't offer the intensive hours that coaching them one-to-one would take. So I decided to start a Synchro team so we could all meet up once a week and meet, and that way I would still get to see them and I could still study to be a midwife, and here I am now. Previous years I would have to say getting enough ice time, but we're lucky in that respect. Was where we train in the Cardiff Ice Arena. Our manager's really supportive and we're okay, we can get enough ice. Obviously we always want more, but we're very lucky we can get as much as we've got. So I would say getting all skaters and parents to have the same passion and goals, sing from the same hymn sheet, so to say. I'm lucky in the respect that I have a brand new bunch of parents, so Synchro's fresh for them. They're very excited to see what we can come up with. But yeah, especially at senior level, getting skaters of that age to commit fully and understand that if they don't, it affects the team, not just themselves. That's always been a bit of a challenge, yes. You can't do it all yourself. The more people that you've got involved in it, the better it can be, and you're not always going to get on, but everyone has a view and the goals should always be the same. Yeah, I think when I started working with other people in about 2013, bringing other people in, that's when I realised what a difference it could make if you work together. And another learned lesson is it's not as stringent. You need to think outside of the box, because not every kid wants to learn the same and they don't learn the same way. So you have to bring in other aspects, which is very difficult when you're trying to teach a team of skaters to behave the same way and learn to skate the same way. Yeah, and I think once I got that into my head, I found different strategies. I'm quite eccentric, and I bring in other people. For example, we've got like a drama focused person who comes in and he plays games with the kids, you know, juvenile to senior, to teach them how to focus, because I can't. I find it really difficult. So by bringing someone else in, that's taken the chore off me. I like watching them develop on the ice, but also off the ice as humans, seeing how their characters develop. I've had kids who aren't confident at all, and then, you know, at one point they take your breath away because they spoke, and they're comfortable in the environment and they feel like they have a voice. For me, that's more special than any medals, really, because if you create a comfortable environment for someone who's potentially shy, don't really rate themselves that much, they can excel more than they ever originally expected to. And I love seeing the end product. Coaching idols would be Anne Shelter. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm obsessed with how her and Shelley Barnett coach. I love how they have like so much respect for the basics and the way they describe how to do stuff. I've been to some of their seminars, and I'm going again in a couple of weeks with some of my skaters. So they're my idols in terms of like how to make a perfect run of the blade. In terms of idols and people who've helped me along the way, Alan Daniel Hustash from Team Zulu, he's been a massive mentor for me. He's actually the person who I contacted in 2013 when I wanted to take my team then further up. And he's always on the other end of the phone. I call him my French captain. So he's an idol in the respect that he helps me me emotionally, and he's always been a support for myself and my skaters. I'm also a massive fan of Brian Orser. So basically I just love how people coach in Canada. I love their can skate. They're from lower level, grassroots to, you know, what they do. Patrick Chan, he's a figure skater, but he can dance. He's just superb. So yeah, I just, my idols, they belong there. No Shock Nexus. Why? They are perfect. And I know no one's perfect, but how they train and what they're taught to do is literally, you know, the goal is perfection. I describe them as a team because I've watched them train up front as well. I put it into perspective with a lady who wants to have the most natural looking face, but spends 8 hours creating that look with makeup, and that's Nexus. So they make everything look so flawless, so synchronized, so fluid, and easy, but it's not easy. My God, they work so hard. So that's, yeah, I just love them. To develop an environment that's athlete-centered, holistic, a place where synchro is taken seriously, where synchro skaters are treated like athletes, like all the other disciplines in skating basically, and somewhere where skaters can come and achieve and feel comfortable and excel and then move on to bigger and better things. Now, I love pre-season. I love the skills. I like it because there's no, stop laughing, there's no like tension. We can just crack on and get on the ice and do what we love doing the most, skating. I always dim the lights, and we use music for every single skill. So today, for example, we just did 2 hours of skills. That's all we have done. So yeah, in answer to your question, my favourite part of the season is now. This season I have all new teams, and my approach has been to take it back to basics, as we always do at this time of year anyway. I've got a lot of skaters that haven't done synchro before, so the main goal is obviously to get them all skating the same way. We haven't actually started any elements or anything yet. We're literally just doing skills. That's always my approach, skills. Woo! So each year I've been doing it, I haven't really wanted to change anything. You just want to add stuff. I suppose I'd like to change people's view of synchronized skating, but I can't do that by myself. So, you know, as a synchro big world family, I think we're all trying to do that. But yeah, to change their view in the respect that it isn't a hobby, that is such a hard sport, that takes so much grit, commitment, passion from parents and kids, and that is taken serious really, and obviously the goal is to get it into the Olympics. And I think when people start seeing the benefits of it and the long hours it takes to become a good synchro skater, then that is possible. So no, I wouldn't change anything. I would just change people's views. Good question. Live, love and laugh. Live because you just live it. It's every being, every part of your life. Is the first thing I think of when I get up in the morning. I sound really sad, but it is. Love because it's really hard to do something this intense that requires a lot of passion and commitment. If you don't love it, you've got to love it. And laugh is such an intense environment that we have to make it as fun as possible, so the the intensity narrows down a little bit. But yeah, we do have a lot of laughs. As I said, I'm really eccentric, so I try and find ways to make the training more fun. As they're so new, it'd be nice to actually get out there to start the season with 3 teams. I would just want them to leave a mark, make memories, and see it as like a starting block for what we want to achieve in the future. We don't really have any goals. I mean, obviously my seniors would love to qualify for the World Championships, but that's like a big goal. We have small goals that we have every session. And I, as a coach, I just, yeah, my goal is to just get them out there this year. They're new, and hopefully we can come back with a few memories. Yeah. I want my skaters, when they leave me, because I like to have them for a while, when they leave me, I want them to think that I've contributed to who they are as a person and as a skater. So I suppose in terms of synchro, it's the same really. I think any coach wants to be remembered for the good things. I would love to be remembered for trying to create an environment where synchro is taken seriously. I think as coaches, I think every single thing that we can do is an added contribution to the sport as it's still in the early stages really. Yeah, I just like my skaters to leave after every session or when their day is done, thinking that, oh yeah, Kat taught me that. Going back to basics again, it would be bubbles. In our country we call them lemons sometimes. In Canada they're called bubbles, and my juvies do it, my seniors do it, I do it. Such an important skill to have under your bow. But yeah, they all do that. And in terms of attitude, they're all taught that synchro is to be taken seriously. We do have a lot of fun, but even the little kids this year, they know that when they come to training with us, it's proper training, full on. I've never got enough skaters. Every year is the same, which is why we're hoping that the new way we're training will entice people to stay and see it out. It's really difficult to keep a senior team. I've kept one for 11 years. This is my third senior team, so third time lucky. For many reasons, I think because they're like of that age where mum and dad aren't ferrying them back and forth to the rink anymore. So yeah, I don't manage to keep a team. I'm always looking for skaters for all my teams all the time. It's a full-time job. So in April this year, well February, I had a meeting with my parents of the skates that we had then and told them what my dreams and aspirations were. And luckily for me, I have a really cool bunch of parents who love synchro, and from the 1st of April we've been training every single team the same way basically. So my juveniles have 5 hours a week of training, so they have on ice, off ice. They also have ballet every week, once a week, and they do strength and conditioning in a group. My junior B team, they train exactly the same way. They have like 7 hours a week, and then my senior team are training the way that they've been training for the last 2 years. They train intense. So the reason why I wanted to was going back to the question on keeping skaters. By the time they get to you at that awkward teenage age, if they haven't been in an environment where the training's intense, it's really hard for them to keep up with it and have a lifestyle as well. So my goal has always been to have the juvenile team train that way from an early age, so that it's embedded in them, and the parents are used to ferrying kids back and forth, and they're used to the training, and it becomes part of their life rather than a chore. So yeah, I'm excited for the future of my juvenile team, all my teams, but my juvenile team because they're young. So if they see it through, I think good things will happen with them because they're starting so young. Yeah, I have, yes. Well, I've dislocated my elbow. I've broken quite a lot of bones, but skating, I'm probably safer on the ice than I am in shoes. And I was literally stood up having a conversation with a group of skaters, telling them it was the end, and I turned, fell over and dislocated my elbow in 2014. Yes. I don't think I will ever lose the passion. Sometimes want to. I've had quite a few, well, myself and my skaters have had quite a few rough years, as any team does. So the fact that the passion is always at the forefront, I couldn't stop even if I wanted to. In terms of motivation, challenges actually motivate me even more. So no, I haven't lost any of it. Don't get me wrong, some days I wish I had, but no, I can't ever see me quitting Synchro, even on the days when it's super hard. It's a big part of my life. I am a nightmare. I am literally like so bad. Up till about 2 years ago, I would just render myself useless to them. There would be no point me being there on competition day. I've put my big girl pants on and grown up a bit since then, and I'm way better now. I feel like horrendous. There's no other way of explaining it. When Team Viola were going to go on for their free programme at the British, I actually nearly passed out outside of the changing room. They would never have seen that, and a personal trainer at the time was great help calming me down. So yes, it's an ongoing issue that I have, and any skater who has had me as a coach would, you know, it's quite funny to them. I am awful. I'm getting better. I'm managing to do like coaching talks in the room before they get on the ice, but it's just this overwhelming fight or flight feeling that I get. I actually think I'm more nervous as a coach than I ever was as a skater. We train every week, so juveniles train Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They have on ice and off ice. They do strength and conditioning, and they also do ballet. Junior B are the same, so they have they train Friday, Saturday, Sunday also, and they have ballet and they have strength and conditioning. And my senior team, because the majority of my skaters live away, I literally have 2 skaters that live here, one being my daughter, who I'm sure you all know. We have come up with this plan since April, right up till August. We will train every other week, but we train for 20 hours. So when they're down, it's intense. So that allows them to have a breather while they're at home. But come September competition season, it reverts back to every week for them, because it has to be. But I take into account that they travel hours to get here. It's intense staying away from home all the time. Tried all different ways of training with my senior team. This way seems to work. It allows them to have that break. They don't get any less ice. They get the same amount of ice, but because it's every other week, it's more intense. Yeah, so that's how we train. So for example, today I trained with the junior B team. We had an hour off ice, well, hour 15 minutes, and we sat and talked, and I gave them a written exercise, and then we warmed up, and then we had 2 hours on ice, and for the 2 hours we just did scales today, and then that's it for them today. But however many hours of ice that we have, so for example, seniors had 5 hours last Saturday or Sunday, we did scales for like 3 hours, and then move on to elements. They all do ballet, they all do strength and conditioning, they all do focus and drama, they all do their own skating by themselves. So it's quite intense, and it is very, very full on, but extremely rewarding to see how the amount of training that we do can improve a skater. But in terms of ice time, we get about 30 hours a month for the 3 teams. There's a lot of things that make me think, is it worth it? Or why does it have to be this way? But I think that's the same as any coach or any job really. So no, I think I'll always love it as long as it keeps evolving like it is. It's just so exciting to see where it's going to go to, especially with the new elements. I really do think that we're going to get into the Olympics one day, and that would be an amazing achievement. No, I think if everyone keeps going with the motivation and the enthusiasm across the world that we have, I think everyone's passion will just excel. Give it a go. Get in touch. We're always looking for skaters. You never know until you try. And we have a great setup here. We can offer so much in terms of on ice and off ice training. And I really think if you want to take your skating to another level, then this is the place to be.
Have you ever broken wind on the ice and blamed it on someone else?
No comment.
Have you ever tripped, thought no one saw you, and then got back up like nothing happened?
Yeah, I do all the time. But normally everyone sees me. I'm dyspraxic, very clumsy, I fall quite a lot, so it's really hard to hide, especially when I'm lying on the ice like a hippo. So yeah, I do.